Moment of shattering, inheritance of truth. I recall when my life fragmented. In his vast study with my little daughter clutching my hand, I observed him laughing over a whiskey with my brother-in-law. My father-in-law glanced at me coldly, showing no warmth, only calculation. His words struck me before I could respond. I've changed my mind. She won't receive a penny. Your brother-in-law will inherit everything instead. The room swirled, yet I didn't sob or shout. Instead, I held my daughter tighter and smiled, the smile that hid a tempest. Betrayal has a biting, metallic taste, lodging deep within your heart. It wasn't always this way. Long ago, when we first met, he embodied everything my daughter deserved, a man of integrity, of promises. He held my hand at our wedding and murmured reassurances about her future. She would always be provided for, he said. My little girl was just an infant then, and I believed every word. The contrast between my expectation and this current situation was like a knife to my throat. Initially, I observed faint indications, canceled lunches, elusive phone calls, his prolonged musings about my brother-in-law inheriting our family lineage. At first, I doubted myself, but then a chilling message arrived on a cold Thursday morning. An altered will, officially signed, notarized, and replete with legal jargon, disinheriting my daughter entirely. The shock receded to a silent fury, clarity, anger, but I suppressed it, unwilling to grant him the pleasure of witnessing me crumble. My mind turned into a chessboard, each move meticulously planned, every detail scrutinized. I observed him, I observed my brother-in-law, and I waited. The breakthrough occurred unpredictably. He believed himself discreet, but even the smartest people have patterns. I traced the paper trail, bank statements, old contracts, whispered conversations. Then I discovered it, a secret he had spent decades concealing. His actions weren't grandiose, yet sufficient to undo his legacy, provoke doubt among family members about his wisdom, and leave him powerless. I didn't act hastily. Revenge isn't instantaneous, it's strategic. I collected incriminating evidence discreetly, stacking truth upon deceit. I posed questions subtly to the right individuals, fanning suspicions. I fabricated documents, verified facts, constructed a case that was ironclad. By the time I met with my attorney, the weight of certainty hung over every signature, every seal. Each night, I rehearsed the confrontation in my mind. I visualized his expression as doubt first surfaced, as the first hints of exposure emerged. I envisioned the alteration in his stance when he recognized he could no longer control reality, and when the day arrived, I was prepared. I stepped into his study once more, calm, collected, my daughter beside me like a miniature bulwark, a symbol of why I bore this deception. His gaze ascended, flickering surprise, a hint of arrogance lingering on his visage. I presented him with a file. I suspect you'll find this interesting, I whispered gently. He perused it, initially chuckled nervously. Then his mouth tightened, wrinkles appearing. His eyes darted panic comprehension. The concealed truth, the one he believed remained unknown, now exposed. Every ally he relied on vanished under examination. Every smug expression dissolved. I observed him crumble gradually, fragment by fragment, as if time had paused to grant me the pleasure of observing his downfall. You don't comprehend, he stammered, voice cracking. You will, I responded. And your choice regarding my daughter, her destiny? That's annulled legally, morally, and this time there's no escape. My brother-in-law attempted to intervene, but even he sensed the change. The arrogance that had driven him wavered. The inheritance, the wealth, the power, it eluded him as effortlessly as sand slips through fingers. Ignoring the tempest, my daughter grabbed my hand and grinned, her smile resonating with the tranquil force of justice. Abandoning my study, I suppressed any sense of triumph. Revenge is not gratification, it's restoration. I safeguarded what was pledged, reclaimed what was pilfered, and accomplished it all with calculated precision, devoid of fervor or giving way to wrath. As the debris subsided, I pondered over everything. Betrayal sought to shape my identity, but I resisted. I maneuvered through the maze of deceit, flipped it on its head, and emerged not fractured but fortified. My daughter's future was ensured not by chance but by tact, patience, and indomitable resolve. Occasionally, under the cloak of night, I relived the instant he acknowledged his lack of influence. It's not revenge, I affirm, it's a silent victory. He discovered too late that vows made to the vulnerable are not trivial, they are sacred. Those who undervalue determination and intelligence, particularly when safeguarding a child, will always stumble. As I close my eyes, I sense the burden dissipate. The dwelling is still, the inheritance recovered, my daughter secure, and at last I am free from bonds. Justice isn't always boisterous. Occasionally it's a murmur, a document, a truth unveiled, a life reinstated. And ultimately that suffices.